Spoke about posture a few days ago, and, well, another article crossed the desk here today, and I thought it'd be something that we can go ahead and dissect a little bit. I did a little glance through it, and thought it would be something of interest for people out there. So, what we have here, a dangerous combination. Well, that could be many things. That could be pills and alcohol, that could be fats and carbohydrates at the same time. But in this context, they're referring to excessive abdominal fat and weak abdominal muscles. Is very problematic for a multitude of reasons. Let's get into this. Weak muscles and abdominal fat can be a dangerous combination for older adults who have difficulty walking. Now, why do you always think, and that's why it's in the picture there, you got the old man shuffle, right? He's just leaning over and, oh my God, my back hurts and I need my cane to walk, and you need to take 35 steps to get halfway through the crosswalk. It's just a real tough time, and I don't know what to do. Other than that, I just like to sit around and eat my Fig Newtons and chew on my Werther's Originals. Well, my friends, there's something you can do in order to avoid that fate. Other than complaining about a bunch of stuff, there's some easy fixes you can make. Many of the things we've talked about here on the channel previously, but another study doesn't hurt. Weak muscles and abdominal fat can be a dangerous combination for older adults who have difficulty walking. A new study from the Federal University of São Carlos suggests that these two physical traits can directly affect the loss of gait speed. Very much so, but again, we're going to add some caveats to this in a moment. Our comparative analysis showed loss of gait speed occurring mainly when abdominal fat and weak muscles were associated. Gait speed, what they refer to is the pace in which you walk. Like, some people take massive steps, okay? Some people make little shuffle steps. Here's a way, if you're a wrestling fan, I touch on this on my main channel, and this is about as far as we're going to go. If you want to see the difference in gait speed, just watch women's wrestling and men's wrestling. I won't tell you what you should be looking for. Just count the steps across the ring, okay? It's noticeable with some specific performers. But anyways, that's what they mean by gait speed, the pace in which your legs propel you forward. Fair enough? Fair enough. Gait speed didn't decline so sharply in older people who have had only abdominal fat or only weak muscles. Interesting. Study author Tiago da Silva Alexandre said, a slower gait is often a natural part of aging. Doesn't have to be, though, okay? Because when I'm saying that, it's like, obviously, you don't see too many 70 and 80-year-old Olympic track athletes. Mostly because your high end, yes, it does start to diminish after about 35 years old, okay? Some instances, your athletic performance is going to deteriorate, but you're referring to the highest levels of stuff. You've probably seen that old hunchback over dude, and probably as often as you've seen somebody with a full white head of hair with a relatively normal gait as well. So it doesn't have to deteriorate as a natural part of aging. They probably both run at the top speed, somewhere around the same approximation, or rather of the same percentage that they could when they were younger. And this is just one of those lifelong things of taking care of your body as you're aging, because you never get those wasted minutes and hours and potentially days back from your youth when you're older. Keep mindful of that. However, mobility issues can result if walking speed falls quickly. This can increase the risk for seniors in daily activities such as crossing the street. A slow gait can also increase the risk of falling and lead to gradual loss of independence, and the condition worsens. How would it do that? More steps, more opportunities to trip, and because you are shaped like a human walking anthropomorphic shrimp, your center of balance is going to be positioned much further forward than if you were to have correct posture, standing up straight with your shoulders back. Just to truncate a previous video as well. A study published in the journal Age and Aging analyzed data from 2,294 individuals aged 60 or more who participated in the English Longitudinal Study of Aging, ELSA. I used to know an ELSA. Participants were divided into 4 groups based on their ELSA data for gait speed and muscle weakness, dyspnea. The group were neither dynaphenic, my mistake, nor abdominally obese. abdominally obese only, diphenic only, and both dynaphenic and abdominally obese. You can probably create a mental image of all four of those groups. At the beginning of the study, none of the participants had problem with mobility or gait speed. Pretty good standard to start with. However, the 8 years of monitoring, gait speed declined in most participants who had abdominal obesity. According to Roberta de Oliveira Maximo, the first author in the paper, in participants with abdominal obesity and muscle weakness, the least healthy group of people, we observed a loss of 0.15 meters per second in the 8-year period. Doesn't sound like much, but a tenth of a meter is 10 centimeters, which is what, a shade under 6 inches? Yeah, I just did the math. Yeah, 15 centimeters, what that is there, 5.9 inches. Take that off of the distance covered with every step, and you're going to notice a significant difference in your gait speed, or how many steps you need in order to do anything really. At this rate, there may come a time when they can't cross the street in the time allowed by traffic lights. Wouldn't take that long to theorize that would become true. Inflammation caused by abdominal fat. Inflammation, baby. It's at the root cause of a whole host of problems. The researchers noted that an accumulation of abdominal fat could create inflammation that consumes muscle mass and reduces strength. Previous studies have also found that these common traits among elderly are associated with a heightened risk of falls, changes in carbohydrate, glucose, and cholesterol metabolism, and even death. Not eating a balanced diet, too high in carbohydrates, sticking to the old, outdated, provably rigged food pyramid that says, hey, make sure that you have your 10 to 12 servings of breads and pastas. That food pyramid was brought to you by the wheat lobby. That's another rant for the main channel. However, this is the first study to link the traits with mobility. Yes, more mass, a lack of strength in order to propel that mass, ergo less range of motion. That makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. This study can help healthcare workers to understand that measuring abdominal fat and muscular strength while in the clinic or hospital can help predict a loss of gait speed in their patients. It can also help to diagnose mobility problems and their potential to incapacitate older people. Fortunately, abdominal fat and muscle weakness can be corrected by exercise, training, and diet. The basis on which we formulate every single one of the videos on this channel. So if you yourself have found yourself lacking in abdominal strength, it's one of the easiest things to correct. Now, you aren't going to see six-pack results, or you're not going to get that flat stomach if you do a whole bunch of crunches. My mistake. That's just not how the body works, unfortunately. It just means you're going to have to tune up your diet, because for men, the way that you store your fat in your body is normally around your midsection. For women, it's more around the hips. That's not everybody. That's just a generality, though. So you tighten up your diet, do a few crunches, you make sure that that lower back is also equally strengthened, because it's going to be constantly taxed if you do find yourself with a slight forward incline at the hips. And make sure that that little complex is constantly looked after, strengthened, and stretched on a routine basis. You're going to be on the geriatric relay team by the time that you're in your 70s, or qualify to run on the Democratic ticket. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.